Hey, this is GunsmithBeard back with another gun video, and it's really good to see you guys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. Big thank you. You guys have been busy this week with subs. We are really close to 600, and I know for a lot of you that watch big YouTubers, that's not a big deal, and it is to me. I'm just going to be honest. It is to me because this channel is pretty new when it comes to having videos and content on two-way stuff and gun stuff. So I appreciate it, and I wanted to thank you because I am humbled by the following that we're getting and the guys and girls that are coming and asking questions and engaging each week. Like I said, I love that stuff, and I welcome it. So thank you, Brownells, SwampFox Optics, and Shooter Innovations, because they are a channel supporter and they do help this channel put out content for you guys each and every week. So without further delay, let's take a look at the gun of the week and we'll come back and talk about it. See you in a second. All right, guys and girls, welcome back. So let's talk about this Ruger Redhawk. And as you know, if you know anything about Ruger Redhawks, they are a 6-shot. So 6 shots in the cylinder. And so real quick, I just want to show you this revolver is clear. But this was introduced way back in 1979 when the Redhawk 6-shot series came out. This one is a 45 long Colt, and it's stamped on the side of the barrel 45 Colt, just so you guys can see that. It's a really pretty gun, and the trademarking is also on the side panel right here, so you guys can see which revolver I'm talking about. But this is a really pretty one. I was a little confused about the barrel length, so I wanted to actually measure it with dial calibers to see what the actual length is, because when I looked it up in the database, it says this revolver came in a 4.2 and also a 5.5, but when I took a measurement, the actual measurement from the action to the end or crown of the barrel is 4.6575. So it's not quite a 4.2, and it's definitely not a 5.5. So super confusing that the barrel is not exactly the measurement, or really not even close to what the book said. But I will say I did check the serial number, so if you have one of these and you're like, where's the serial number at, take your grips off. The serial number is printed on the frame right here, so you'll see a long digit number right here on the frame. This one came back to a 1998 model, which is got some age on it, so it's a pretty old girl. She is still looking gorgeous as ever. And the grips, as you can see, they're Pachmeyer. They're not original. So this was purchased at an auction, so the previous owner changed the original grips out for these. And a lot of guys do that, especially with Pachmeyer, because they claim they help mitigate recoil. In my opinion, that's not true. What they do is allow you to have a better purchase or grip on the revolver as you hold it. So with these bigger calibers, the revolver doesn't come out of your hands, and the slick kind of wood finishes that you find on some of these. So the grips, the rubber grips, help maintain grip and control of the firearm. It doesn't mitigate recoil. To me, that's a marketing scheme. It really doesn't do that. If you want to mitigate recoil on a revolver, I will tell you how to do that. You get a gunsmith or a pistol smith and you have him port the barrel. Porting the barrel will mitigate recoil. Just, it is what it is. That's what it does. But it does come with cons. When you port any barrel, you have hot gases coming out the top or the side. And if you shoot at night, sometimes guys will claim that they get night blindness from it after the first shot, or the fireball that comes out the side scares them. I'm just saying, these are things I've heard as a gunsmith. But if you wanted to mitigate recoil, port your barrel. There's a lot of great people that could do that. So if you don't have a gunsmith, you could send this off to Clark Customs in Louisiana. The family, Miss Clark and Jerry Michalek, they are the best, in my opinion, the best custom shop on the planet when it comes to revolvers, because the man, the legend himself, Jerry Michalek, that's his wife's shop. So just saying, not saying, but just saying. All right, let's talk about the sights. So there's nothing crazy going on with the sights. On the rear blade, it is what's called a U-notch outlined blade. So you can see kind of a white outline around the rear sight blade. And then over time, I will guarantee you that most older gentlemen or even women will change this front sight blade out to a fiber. And if that's not good enough, because I will tell you, fiber optic sights or fiber rod sights, they do work in lower light and bright light. It makes the light goes through them, they shine and kind of glow a little bit and make it easier for your eye to pick up that front sight. A lot of guys do that, especially when your eyes start getting old and they start failing you. A lot of people switch to these. So this is very common to see in older demographics. And now, since technology has gotten better and more people are going to this, because you can shoot both eyes open and situational awareness and all that good jazz, they're taking the front sight and the rear sight off and putting like a Wingem Combat scope base or mount on the top of this, and then you can run a red dot, which is fun to shoot. Some guys are going to say that's blasphemy. I never put that crap on my Ruger or Smith & Wesson revolver. Don't do that. And there's some truth to that. So I will tell you, the reason I think the biggest con to doing that isn't the dot itself. It's when you take the components off. I worked for Brownells as a gunsmith for a little less than 6 years. Everyone that called me had lost their rear sight assembly and had a hard time finding another one, because they removed it. They thought they put it in a safe place, and then they didn't. And so they were calling me trying to find the guts, because they didn't like the guy sold it, or the guy changed his mind and wanted to go back, but couldn't find the part. So the biggest con, in my opinion, to switching to an optic mount of any kind, especially on a revolver, is you're going to lose this, because nine times out of 10, they lost it. So, or you could just be, responsible and put it in a safe place and make notes of where you put it, and don't let your kids around it. So I don't know. That's just my gripe, is that was a big thing. It just kind of one of those things. But let's talk about the trigger. So this is a single double action revolver. So in single action, the trigger poundage is, from my pull gauge, is about 5 pounds. So it's not terrible. So double action, obviously it's going to be heavier, because I'm having to pull the trigger and my hammer's having to go back. That is around 8 pounds. A couple of my tests showed a 9 pounds. So that could have been me just not pulling it in the same place and getting a weird poundage. But pretty consistently on double action, 8 pounds. Single action, I got 5 pounds. So, and some guys can thumb it and they just shoot in single action and just thumb it back with their thumb, is what I'm talking about. And they like to shoot in single action because the trigger's a lot cleaner, crisper, and shorter, and all that jazz. But that's up to you. Most people, if this is a defensive gun, and a lot of these guns I've seen have been like bush guns or backup guns or whatever, and they're fun for that. And they have like a chest rig where there's a nice chest piece and you draw, and then, whatever. But anyway, beautiful gun. I like doing revolvers because they're just fun guns, and they don't have a lot of mechanical problems for people that don't know how to do emergency drills on semi-auto pistols. So they can be a good option for you if you like revolvers, because there's not a lot of mechanical things going on that could fail you. Besides you putting your reloads in it and not having any clue what you're doing, and you squib load it or blow the revolver apart. And I don't know how many videos on Instagram, on social media I've seen of guys having a new recipe for their reloads. They put it in the revolver and it separates the action and the barrel and just blows it all to pieces. So just one of those things. And also, don't put your thumb up here on the cylinder, because believe it or not, hot gases come out of that. So if you're not really proficient in revolver shooting, don't stick your thumb like you do on your Glock or SIG or whatever out here, because on the bigger calibers it will cut your thumb off. So just get some practice if you want to get into revolvers. But honestly, this is a great revolver to pick up. Like I said, this model they don't make anymore. They make, in 2015, they went back and they made a 45 ACP / 45 long Colt, but they do not make the 45 Colt anymore. So good one to add to your collection, or if you're getting into revolvers, this is an awesome one to shoot. So hope you guys have enjoyed this week's Gun of the Week, and I will catch you in the next week. But always, work hard, God first. See ya.